So the first time I met Dobby, I was doing my morning meds, and it was him with all his siblings actually. And I was like, oh, one's limping, how sad. And it was him, just the sad little boy.
Well, when I first saw him, he was really not feeling very well. He was definitely in pain. He was injured. He had a really bad fracture of his elbow. He was really, really painful. Because of all that he went through medically, he was living with it here for quite a while because he developed pneumonia. So we didn't want to put him under for his amputation. He was also really little when he came in. We could tell he needed to be in ICU under extensive care, and our technicians took great care of him.
But in there, he was getting the nebulization, which is basically like the humidifier to help his little lungs. And then he was getting coupage, so he's like basically getting burped twice a day, every day.
The pneumonia, I think, was probably the scariest thing. And then another scare was definitely when he had that abscess that was so close to his fracture, because we didn't want that to get infected.
His leg was hurting so bad for him, but you would never be able to tell if you didn't see his leg. He just had the best personality. He was so sweet, wanted to kiss everybody, get pets from everybody. He was the sweetest thing.
I had signed up for foster care, so she brought him up and said that he had a hurt leg. I said, yeah, let's go for it. And got 15 minutes down the road and decided we're gonna adopt him. I think it was the instant connection, and he just automatically jumped up and cuddled up, into your shoulder and just started kissing.
You get a lot of dogs that are really uncomfortable and they kind of show that, but even then he was a trooper and he was like, I'm just happy to be loved. I'm happy for someone to hold me and give me some attention. So every time we did treatments, his tail was nonstop and he like paw at you, wants more love.
Once he was cleared for the pneumonia, we could get that leg all removed so he wasn't in any more pain anymore long term, and he wouldn't have to be on pain meds for the rest of his life. So we're really happy that Dobby's feeling better now.
Of course, we'd love to have fixed Dobby's leg via fracture repair. That's definitely not possible in all patients, and especially in Dobby's case. His fracture was extremely close to his elbow joint, so that would make that extremely hard. In addition, Dobby also had that abscess that was right by that fracture site, so it was infected. So it would have likely just delayed healing for Dobby. So the fastest, quickest way and best thing for Dobby was to get that leg off and to perform an amputation.
Well, it's kind of amazing because, when you think of a tripod, you don't think what they go through. And in the beginning, I thought, I don't know if he's going to be able to handle it, but he is a puppy, and they're pretty resilient, come to find out. I thought, well, we're going to help him walk and all this stuff. He took off like nothing flat. He didn't even act like he had a missing leg. He's doing so good because of them. And you don't realize, one, how much money is involved. There's so many dogs like him that people don't hear about. When dogs come into the Humane Society, you think, man, they're just strays or whatever. They don't think about the ones that are hurt, abandoned, beaten. I never thought about it until now.
Dobby was one of those that definitely, needed extensive treatment, and we were very, very so lucky that we had the opportunity to provide that at AHS. To see his personality now that he's like not painful and he's happy and he's, he always had that like sweet disposition about himself, but it's great to see him now that he's like totally not in pain, running around crazy on his 3 little legs. So it's wonderful, it's really great.
He looks amazing. In the foster department, you see a whole circle from when the pet comes in and is injured to it being a completely different animal when it comes back in and being healed from whatever they were in foster care for. I'm just so happy that his foster adopted him. The whole foster department as a whole team was so happy when they found out he was going to get adopted by her.
The majority of their children are mentally disabled or physically disabled of some sort. And a lot of therapy dogs really help these children. So that's what the big plans are for him, because he's helping us and we're going to help somebody else.